say go? Okay. Hey, this is Bridget Ernst, and this is my mom, Susan, and today we are going to be doing the bilateral squat. So, first, Mom, when we set up our squat, don't look at me, let's just look at the camera. When we set up, we want to have our feet somewhat parallel. There can be a slight turnout to our feet, but when you, not that much. So, when you get there and your feet are straight, I want you to squeeze your muscles, and then I do want you to kind of rotate your knees outward a little bit. And do you feel your buttock squeeze when you do that?
Yes.
All right, awesome. So now that you've got your glutes engaged, I want you to keep a nice long spine. All right, I want you to keep your midsection braced as we sink down into this. And at first, we're actually just gonna bend the knees a tiny bit. So we're gonna bend the knees a tiny bit and just kind of hinge, a tiny little hinge, just like we would do if we were getting prepared to sit down into a chair. So go ahead and give me that little hinge, keeping your lower back nice and straight. And then stand back up. Good, let's do that again a little bit. Soften the knees, that little hinge, and squeeze your buns and stand back up. All right, next we are
Now do it again.
going to, well, you've performed that great, so we're gonna move along. Next, I would typically have my mom do a wall squat a little closer to the wall, but she's had 2 knee replacements and she's not gonna get down as low as a wall squat. So we're just gonna go into a pretty much like a chair height squat. All right, Mom, so using that setup, again, kind of engage, get that little tiny turnout with the feet, not too much, just enough to engage the buns, long spine, give me that little hip hinge, and let's sink into a squat about chair height without trying to let that lower back round, and then squeeze your buns and stand on up. So I'm gonna have you straighten your feet just a little bit more. There you go. Sit back into that same squat. Push those knees apart a little bit. Good, and stand. Do it again for me, Mom. Sink on into it, just about the height of a chair, squeezing your buns and standing. All right, great. So now we have just our basic squat. Now we're gonna do a goblet squat. And I know this is really used more for the front squat, but today we're gonna use it as a goblet squat. So Mom, come on over here, because I'm gonna have you just hold this in close to you. We're gonna pretend like it's a goblet. Boys, I'm doing something. And you're gonna sit back to your chair and up. If you feel better holding it like this, pretend like it's a goblet, sink down into your chair and back up. You have support. It's all the same setup, nice long spine, in close to you, Mom. I need it in close to you.
Like this?
In close, like you're gonna, yes, not that, yeah, here.
Okay.
Because if it was weight and it was out far, it would be pulling you down. So if I want you to think, like, if this was weight, if you needed to carry your jug of milk and sit down with your jug of milk, how would we do that? But I need you to go ahead and sit all the way down.
Oh, okay. Am I at the...
Good. So you felt that was a little bit harder, right, to not have it because I made you go down a little further. You had a goal to reach for.
Yeah, but I didn't know how close I was to the sofa.
Let's do it again.
Okay.
So we're going down a little deeper. Yep. Sit all the way down. Very nice. Squeeze those buns. And see, my mom didn't even sit all the way down on that one. She just kind of tapped and came back up. So I know that she can step out now. We're going to do it without the chair behind us. Keep it in nice and close, again, like you've got weight, and sink into that goblet squat again. And I still want you to try to get low like you were. All right. Keep that chin tucked in. Don't let your chin pop up. Don't be a Pez dispenser. Okay. All right, next we're gonna do our front squat. So we are going to use our dowel here, and now we're gonna actually place it on the shoulders keeping the elbows elevated. So now when she sinks into a squat, it's gonna force her back straight, keeping the with the elbows up. It's gonna feel a lot different.
Okay. Do the same thing?
Oh yeah, yeah. Keep that spine nice and long. Turn on the buns and squeeze those knees straight. Excellent. It's harder to stay upright with your elbows up, isn't it? You can feel that making your back work too. All right, we're gonna take this and we're just gonna switch it to a back squat real quick. So just make sure it's not on your neck, Mom. Make sure that it's down, 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 yeah, here. So shoulder mobility now plays a role here. So
this is definitely
I can tell my mom's shoulders are tight because she wants to keep it up higher on her neck, causing her to hunch, but then it lets her shoulders round forward. So that right now she's feeling that stretch, and you can tell she's a mom because she's rocking back and forth. So we're gonna just hold still. Again, so using that same setup, Mom, that we've done, engaging the glutes and the quads, spine nice and long, we're going to sit back into our chair again. Now, you do not have the chair to fully sit down, so don't do that. And I also don't want you to go, ugh, first, okay? So make sure that you're not sticking your buns out per se, that we're still hinging from the hips to get there. All right, bring your feet just a little more neutral. Again, I don't mind a turnout, but too much turnout is definitely gonna affect our ability to squat properly.
Okay.
All right, inhale down into it. And exhale as you stand. All right. Thank you so much. So this is my mom. Again, my mom is not ever gonna be a power lifter, so we're not gonna go over the Olympic squatting moves, which, you know, might be all the way down or overhead.
But I do Tai Chi.
But that's not for her. So with this population, doing the things that we've done and then getting down into the chair and back up safely is great for the unilateral squat. All right.
40s.